So you decide to take a better turn for your life and want to buy some property. Great! But before you go out of your way and start calling yourself the next real estate baron, there's just one small problem. You have zero clue what you're doing. Okay, if I were to take out a loan, would it cost like one or two money? Like, how do I get them? Where to look for them? I don't know. Help me. I need help to sell both kidneys. I need help. Don't you worry. I got you covered. In Gmod, that is. Well, okay, you get the idea, but to make this easily digestible, imagine yourself playing on a dark RP server. I know, a very broad example, but stick with me. No! We already did that joke! First things first, you gotta claim yourself some land, or in this case, a door. This will simulate a very accurate real estate transaction. Get the shit done! Or if you don't feel like it, you can just sell the door to a different player who is willing to buy it. But before you do any of what I've said previously, you gotta first pick a profession, since empty pockets will get you nowhere. So whatever floats your boat. Of course, if you're not duping, but I'm not saying I don't approve of it or disapprove of it. Keep in mind that you can't just walk up to a high-profile building near the spawn from the get-go and buy one right off the bat, because guess what? You can't afford one yet. We have yet to get to that point. As of right now, you're a bro. Throwing our shit at a wall won't make it stick as of now, so we're gonna have to pick a decent out-of-sight place to settle down our base of operations. Yeah, yeah, looks good enough. As a newly made property owner, you now have the keys to your property and a paper that probably says whatever you just bought is now in your possession, which means you can open up a large variety of things. And no, I don't condone the use of the last one, but our main focus is renting this one place out. Since Gmod is a little scuffed, we have to improvise a little here. Let's say a random person playing on the server stumbles upon your your property, so you say, hey, I'll give you a place to live to avoid vicious gunfire for a low price of $200. A very reasonable price, I know. Or to put it in simpler terms, roleplay a landlord. If most certainly necessary, your buyers can take out a loan to accommodate themselves further. Either that, or you go to your local mafia boss for a bit of financial aid with a few drawbacks. Oh, what's that? A tenant didn't pay his rent? The hitman it is. As a wave of new players approach being interested in your living quarters, it is obvious you should make it worth the stay, so use whatever prop blocks you can think of at your disposal to make it look nice, because we obviously don't want to look like an average Balkan or Polish household. Or even better yet, to prevent further headaches, you can make it a pre-built home and manage your further properties with ease, so resettling and rinse and repeat. But before we do move on, I have something to talk to you guys about. Yeah, this is just criminal. But real though, if you're enjoying my content, give it a like and hit the subscribe button. It only takes a moment and helps out a ton. And hey, while you're at it, join the Discord server. It's filled with cool people and you could be one of them too. Moving on. Now, most obviously, I'm not gonna bore you with security stuff because one, you can mine yourself up with the money you've made so far and protect what's rightfully yours, or look up whatever Gmod security tutorials there are. After everything said, for a bit of a checklist, we got an established property with a decent interior, people who are interested in said property, and a check coming from it. For now, you can pat yourself on the back since it's getting a little tricky from here. From here, you can expand much farther. To come back to a previous point I made, now we're gonna head over to the spawn and start looking for more luxurious properties. Not my definition of luxurious, but I digress. From here, we scale up. Now we move to the spawn. Expanding your empire once you have a consistent income, you can start buying prime real estate near the spawn, which in Gmod is the equivalent of New York's 5th Avenue, except with at least 10 times more gunfire. And for all my European folk who don't know what that is, think of it as Saint-Tropez. At this point, you have two paths you can take. One, you can become more of a strategic operator and stay where you're at. And that essentially means purchasing lower cost properties and then flipping them for a decent profit. This could mean higher returns, but it's going to require some business wittiness to make sure you're maximizing profits while maintaining ethical practices. Or two, you can make more of a premium approach, investing in upscale properties and renting them out for a higher return. And by doing this, you're essentially building a real estate empire, managing multiple properties, and even controlling part of the housing market in this virtual plane we call a server. But really, what's a business venture without capital? And that's where the Gmod banking system comes in again, which can very easily help you fund your expansion. And sure, you could get creative with your finances, just remember this is all part of a role-playing experience. Because sometimes things in business get a little, unconventional. But with enough money, you'll own half of the map at this point. But like any good economy, this will eventually crash. Who knows, maybe a new admin wipes the server, does a rollback. Or maybe everyone gets banned for RDM. Not a likely case, but you know. And either way, you can sit back and watch as the housing market collapses, buildings burn, people losing their minds over virtual cash, and players losing their homes in the Gmod civil war. But above all else, just make sure you don't commit RDM. We don't want the role players getting pissed. With that said, I'm gonna thank you, the viewer, for watching this video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and check out the other stuff I'd make. I'm live on Twitch too, so, you know, better check that out, or we're gonna have problems. With that said, I hope you have a good day. Have a good one. Peace.
Well, in that case...